Yes.
Whenever you and your husband are ready to start your family, I can hook you up with a set of lawn darts.
Thank you very much. Black market lawn darts, yes. I love it. I also want to tell you guys, just for no reason, just because it's funny. I was actually listening to NPR the other day because I do it for, like, you know, opposition research, and they're doing a story. It was actually a very nice story about a guy in D.C. trying to get guns. So everybody asked me, like, I live in Virginia, so I have a gun because I live in Virginia and I'm able to. And everyone says, oh, well, there's that Supreme Court case. Can't you own one in D.C. now? I'm like, oh, you are so silly. No, Supreme Court. The way it works, you have to go to Maryland to buy the gun. You have to register it in Maryland. Then you can bring it in to have ballistics testing and, like, you know, I don't know, like a personality test or something. And then they maybe will give it to you. It's like this insane thing. And if you do any of it in the wrong order, there's like 18 steps. If you do any of it in the wrong order, you have to go back to the beginning and start again. It's very, very, very complicated. So they're doing this story on this guy who has 18 guns, God bless him, in Washington, and keeps going through the process over and over and over again. And this NPR reporter went with him to the range to, like, experience guns. And it was hilarious. And I would do my little female NPR voice impression. She's like, this is Emily Friedman, reporting for NPR. And they go to and you hear the little atmospheric sounds of the gun range. It's very scary. She goes, I am not a gun person. And you're like, you're an NPR reporter. You didn't really have to start off with that. So much so that when we got to, like, Butch's gun range in Maryland, my palms were sweaty. I was like, I just enjoyed it because it was so, like, these gorillas in the mist. What do they believe? And I'm sure she didn't go near a gun. But Emily Friedman had her moment, and she met a man with 18 guns, and she didn't actually run away scared. She held the microphone and interviewed him in a polite way. So I guess that's something. But maybe first we can get her started on a lemonade stand. She's not a gun person. Lemonade stand first. Yes.
Well, just kind of a commentary. It's kind of a sad state. I had the principal of my son's high school come up to me after graduation and thank me because my son provided the discipline that he was unable to by law.
Then you're going to get an anti-bullying law up in there. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he said that a teacher or a principal thanked him for having a son who was providing some of the discipline that the school's not allowed to offer. Oh dear, I'm not even going to touch that one. Anyone else? Oh my gosh. Oh, and my favorite thing my favorite nannyism moment this year was the newly revealed food chart that tells us how to eat, and it costs like millions of dollars to create, and it's a plate. It's this plate, except with 4 quadrants, and it explains that you eat protein, grains, dairy, and like some sugar, right? And I'm like, what? Without this, we would all be eating like dirt and cardboard. What did we do before they spent millions of dollars giving us a plate with 4 different colors on it? These people are insane. Yes? Anyone?
One of the neat things about coming to this event is you get up to date on all the new good anti-Obama and anti-liberal bumper stickers. Which ones do you think would have the best effect, either trying to change their mind or, absent that, pissing them off?
Oh gosh, now I feel like I'm on the spot. He's asking about really good bumper stickers, and now I feel like I'm on the spot and I can't think of any, even though I've seen really good ones. Anybody have a favorite that they'd like to throw out there? Yeah.
1/20/13, end of an era.
There's a perfect one that has the little logo from Obama, the kind of Andy Warhol logo thing, and it says, "Does this ass make my car look big?"
not going to top that. Oh, she said there's one with the Obama sort of iconic blue and red photo, and it says under it, "Does this ass make my car look big?" That's pretty great. Yes, sir.
One that's scary to drive around because it says about a birth certificate.
A birth certificate one. Anybody else? Anyone? Yes, sir.
Talk some about the debt.
Okay. I was so hoping I could talk about the debt. Yeah, I'm just glad that we're all here getting ready for Armageddon. No, because you got to practice. No, I don't even know what to say. The thing that strikes me most about this debate is how frightening it is that there is this much kicking and screaming and brinksmanship about something that does not even at its most extreme level come close to solving the problem. Not even close. And that's why, like, I always have this fight on the radio show every day, and I'm sort of tongue-in-cheek, but not really. I'm like, we're doomed. At the end of every debt ceiling talk, I'm like, we're doomed. And it's not, I don't mean about, like, the August 2nd deadline, which who knows if it's real because they've changed it 3 times. But I mean what this fight shows about what we'll be able to accomplish in the future, which is what's scary to me. Now, what's going to immediately happen? Lord, if I know. I would like to chart the president's consistent point of view and leadership on this particular topic. In December, his own deficit commission came out with a grand sweeping proposal. There was a Senate group trying to get that written into law. He said nothing about it. In January or February, I can't remember which, he gave a State of the Union address. Nothing on the deficit. Nothing on the debt commission. Took no stand on it. Put forth a budget that raised or hiked the debt $9 trillion over 10 years and wanted an increase in revenues of $1.5 trillion. So that was the president's balanced approach back in the day. Then, when everybody hated that, and it got 0 votes in the House, or in the Senate, from Democrats included, 0 votes for the president's budget, he came out with a vision. He's a visionary, I know you guys know that. Came out with a vision, which CBO then said, we cannot score this because it is a vision. Then he said, I want a clean debt ceiling hike, right? Clean, that's the only way to do this. It's the only moral way to do this. We can't put a gun to the head of the American people, blah, blah, blah. Only moral way to do it is a clean debt ceiling vote. Until he decided that he wanted the $4.5 trillion giant deal, which of course had no specifics whatsoever, right? Then, in the process of discussing that, he walks out of the meeting with Eric Cantor over what? The short-term deal, which he said he would stick his presidency on this. Never a short-term deal. 2 days later, press conference. Well, let's discuss the options. First, the big $4.5 trillion deal, which is the best deal. She was totally opposed to 6 months ago. Number 2 is the short-term deal, which I'm totally open to. I'm a reasonable man. 2 days before, he walked out of the meeting over it. And third, the clean debt ceiling vote, which is the least favorable option, which was his entire platform the entire summer. So that is just a review of the president's brave leadership on this subject.
Jello.
But I think it does show that if Republicans, I've been so worried about the messaging thus far. I don't think they've gotten through people's heads that these people have no standing on the budget. They spent 2 years not having a budget. And I think we missed an opportunity to hammer that into people's heads so that this guy still has any credibility whatsoever talking about this. So I think we missed a boat there. But I do think there's hope that Obama, just as with that phantom deal the other day between him and Boehner, which the Democrats were really, really mad about, that you can run because he's like Jello, right? And so if it comes down to the wire, I don't know if I trust Boehner. They want a deal. I don't know if I trust him to get one without tax hikes in it, but it just seems insane to me that we can't say, for one time in your lives, can you do one deal with no tax hikes in it? Just once, just as a down payment on like the fact that we would ever believe you ever. Just give us something to work with. All right, one more question. You enjoyed my rant, right?
I loved it.
Is that a commentary?
It was a good
Are you being
rant.
passive aggressive?
Always.
Yes. Anybody else? Oh, no question.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys.